We're here today again with Mom and Dad, and now I'm actually recording it. And it's just the day after their 67th anniversary. And Mom was just recounting how this 67 years began. And it began the day before the 30th, on Friday, the 29th. There was a rehearsal dinner,
Rehearsal party
a rehearsal party. All right.
at Granny and Pawpaw's house. And Granny and Pawpaw were the bride's parents. And the rehearsal dinner was just for those who were involved in the wedding party. And that was Charles White, best man, David White, and a great friend, and usher at the party, and Richard Ramsey, who was dating my sister Betty at the time. And now I've forgotten where I was.
You were at the rehearsal party.
Okay, and we're at the rehearsal party. And Granny had read somewhere that a good party treat would be cantaloupes cut in two and filled with ice cream, seeded and filled with ice cream.
Okay.
So that's what we had for our little treat. Well, in the meantime, your daddy's dad thought, this can't be happening. They're only 19. And so he just decided, I'm just not going to sign a wedding license. And we went ahead and had the rehearsal party anyway. And Granddaddy and me, Mom, the groom's parents, were there, and they were hearing all these congratulations and getting a little embarrassed that they had not yet signed a license. And so finally, at the end of the rehearsal party, George Peters Sr.
Senior.
Decided that he'd go ahead and sign a license. So he said,
Yay.
as of 8 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to pick you kids up and we're going to drive back to Arkadelphia. And I'm going to sign that license. Well, 8 o'clock the next morning, sure enough, he came along. We drove up there, and the courthouse was closed. And so now what do? Well, you find the whoever signs the license. So that guy was found, and he drug out the license, and George Peters Sr. Finally signed it. So the wedding was still on. 6 o'clock that same Saturday afternoon. Whoa. And here it was, already about 10:30 or 11 Saturday morning.
No wonder you look a little tired in those pictures.
I was worn out. But anyway, while we were there, he said, well, I know you kids have already found an apartment, and I'd like to see it while I'm here. So the apartments were provided by the school for very minimum monthly rental. And we got a little one bedroom, living room, kitchen combination, and on what they call the farm. And the farm was just a bunch of old army barracks that had been brought in and divided into apartments.
Like from Camp Robinson, like they, yeah, I'll be. And this is Ouachita, right? Ouachita Baptist University, okay.
And so we carried him over, or he carried us over for us to show him the apartment. And first thing he did was say, "Well, now what are you kids going to do for paper towels? You don't even have a paper towel holder." I had grown up never using a paper towel. I didn't even know what they were. I said, "My mother has always just used her dish towels. We've never used paper towels." So anyway, we finally got that all worked out and headed back home, where my roommate, Kitty Davis, was already primping and getting ready for 6 o'clock wedding. And so we all got busy trying to get ourselves put together and dressed for 6 o'clock wedding. And Granny never washed her hair before she dressed up. She always, let me start that over. And Granny said, "Well, I've got to wash my hair." And Kitty said, "What? You're just now washing your hair? It's just 2 hours till that wedding." And Mother had naturally curly hair. And she didn't have to do a thing but just wash it and fluff it, and it was ready to go.
Yep, no fair.
That's great. So anyway, we got ourselves dressed and went to the wedding, and for the sake of photographs, I had a picture of Mother helping me put the veil on. And that's been 67 years ago, and my brain is wobbling over here.
Well, but she got the veil on, and I know from the pictures that y'all got married. And you all looked so fancy and normal, too.
Dr. James G. Harris at Beach Street Baptist Church, Texarkana, 1954.
Well, all right. Well, there we go.
6 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon. But
there's a but.
Here's the cutie part that we didn't think was at all cute. We went back. We had been in such a hurry to get that license and get the wedding behind us that we had not taken time to eat. And I was hungry. And so Mother said, "Well, come on over, let's go on back to the house, and I'll fix you all some little something to eat." Well, just as we were starting to eat something, Mother called the wedding party group and said, "They're over here." And they had been looking for us, wanting to chase us to our honeymoon spot. So That granny, mischievous little thing she was, said, "They're over here." And here comes a bunch of cars. Just about the time I was taking my first or second good bite, and there I was, starved to death. And we jumped in our car and took off down the highway with a trail of people behind us, blowing horns and just making mischief. And among them, leading the pack, was Charles White, best man.
Uh-huh. All right.
But they gave up on us, and we went on to Mount Pleasant, Texas. We were on our way to Dallas. We stopped at Mount Pleasant, Texas, got a motel room, and the marriage started there.
Oh, well, there we go. Very good. Anything to add to that, Daddy?
Well, I think it was not really as, I guess you could say, confusing to me. It just looked like normal moving around. And
Because you're the groom.
so we got there as planned pretty much, and it was a good day.
There we go.
Even if it was a little bit hurried and hectic.
And 67 years, 5 kids. How many grandkids? 12 grandkids and 23 great grandkids and 1 great great grandkid
There you go.
later. Here we all are. Very good.
Except for one daughter, we're still around.
Yeah, that's right.
And even with a COVID epidemic going around, as a family, we've so far been spared.
That's right. Yep. The year of the COVID.
That's right.
All right. Very good. Good story. Oh. And I'm here too, somewhere.
Oh,